Caroline, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You got your batteries recharged
I
and
got my
everything?
batteries recharged. Yeah, got a late, and it's funny because flew in and about the time I'm flying, Southwest had their issues.
Right.
And I think it's American is having
Right,
issues
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
I mean, we flew on little tiny airlines, but it was still or not tiny, but just the low budget. Some
They're
delays
tiny.
and things like that. And,
They're tiny.
They're tiny. Yeah, they're tiny. And apparently, when we were flying in during that day, Orlando Airport had closed like 2 or 3 times because of lightning.
Right.
And that. So that delayed flights into, Orlando.
I took one of the affordable airlines, and I used to take it because it would fly from Tampa
Okay.
or Orlando
Right.
straight into the airport that I needed to go to.
Okay.
Because it was a hub for this little
Oh,
plane.
right.
And that was the Atlantic City Airport.
Okay,
When
yes.
when I played poker for a
Yeah.
living, I would fly into the Atlantic City Airport,
Right.
which is still 26 miles outside of Atlantic City, and
But still,
but the casinos had vans
But
there for you and everything.
it's a lot closer than Philly or.
But you don't know how many times this
Oh,
budget airline, because the Atlantic City Airport would be a little early,
Oh.
and you'd leave in the morning, and the Atlantic City Airport
Airport
wouldn't be
wasn't
open yet. So they divert you to Philly.
oh.
But the casino
But
vans were waiting on you there too. so-
Right. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, because and I mean, I guess the Atlantic City Airport was very stringent on when they'd open, because we'd be there 15
Get
minutes
a good
ahead of time.
tailwind, get a good tailwind,
We'd be there
and you-
15 minutes ahead of time. Nope, diverting to Philly. Can't we circle for 15 minutes?
Yeah, until we get enough gas to go a little
Nope.
bit further. Yeah.
Nope.
But we'll drive. We'll fly back here and come back a little bit.
And that's what they would do. They would drop us in Philly. The vans would pick us up. Then
And
they would
fly
fly
back to
and
Atlantic
pick
City
up
to
the
pick up the people.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah. Didn't make sense.
No,
right.
the
right.
airline industry in general doesn't make
It's
sense.
sometimes it's a little confusing.
But you're back.
I'm back. Yeah.
And you walked in during monsoon season, it
I
seems like.
did. I came into you got 90 degrees and 110% humidity, and
Isn't this the Sunshine State? Because I
I
hadn't
know
seen
I
it in a
haven't
while.
seen the sun in days. It's one of those things. And sun is energy. I mean, at least
know,
for me, I'm
the
a
funny-
summer child, so
Funny thing is, we're the Sunshine State, but the state that gets more sunshine than any other state in the union gets sunshine on average 327 days a year. And it's been a trivia question of mine. That's how I know this.
is it Arizona?
It is.
Yeah. I know we're the sunshine state, but we have more partly cloudy days or mostly cloudy days
Right.
than we
Than
do
we do
sunny.
sunshine.
Yeah.
But we're still the Sunshine State.
We are the sunshine state because
'Cause
you come
our
to Florida and it's sunny. And
well, it's our
we're
fruit.
sunny.
We look like sun. Look like the
and
sun.
we're sunny when it counts, and that's
Yes.
like between December and March.
When everybody wants to come,
Wants to come and
to
have
our
the
atmosphere.
sunshine. Yes.
And by the way, if you've ever been to Arizona in December, January, or February,
It's cold.
it's wonderful during the daytime.
but cold at night.
But when that sun goes down, the desert is no fun.
Yeah. It doesn't hold that heat.
You get to Vegas. I've been to Vegas in December, and it'll be 73, 74 in the daytime, 28 at night.
Yeah. How do you pack?
You know.
It's,
So I had a listener that is
Yeah.
a loyal listener to the
Yes.
show, doesn't call in,
right.
but I have a relationship with this person. We serve on a committee together. And he brought a tomato to me
Yes.
and said, take this tomato to Carol Ann. He listens every week.
Right.
And ask her what's going on with my
wrong?
tomato. Now, I can't put the
You can't
tomato
show
on
the
there,
picture,
but
yeah.
but
Well,
the
I don't
tomato.
know. Can you show it to the camera?
Well, I'm
you
gonna
can
try.
put it on YouTube.
I'm gonna try.
You can put it on
I'm gonna try to do that. Here's the tomato. I don't know if the camera will see it, but there's the tomato, and it's got a lot of.
got a lot of cracks.
It looks
in
like
that.
somebody's taken a knife and scarred it.
And it just you're right. Just scored
Right,
that.
just
that
scored
skin.
it.
It's they're splitting, and it's the rain. Yeah, we were dry, so we controlled the water. Yeah, when they went in the ground, we controlled the water where we were watering. Whatever his watering schedule, mine was like 3, maybe 4 days a week, or my 4th day was a little bit less water, and you could control your water. Boom, boom, boom. I'm putting down this much water, this many days a week. Then suddenly, boom, the drought stopped. And rainy season started, and we got a couple of really big rains, and the tomatoes just fill, and a lot of other fruits will do this too, and just they grow suddenly, and
The
they
skin
split
ready
the
for
skin. Split the skin.
It's kind of like stretch marks now.
Yes, in a way it is that it just grew really quickly, really fast. Tomatoes will split. Watermelons will actually pop.
They will burst open.
They will burst open, and they won't be ripe yet, and so then it's very, very frustrating. There's some other fruits that'll do that, and a lot of other things that right now that we're June, our main spring growing season starts in March, but it also ends, at this, coming into this time as that rainy season starts, because though you may not have had a lot or measurable rain over the last few days, I've had some sprinkles. I think I got some rain yesterday. There were puddles in the neighborhood when I came home, but it had stopped. But it didn't really rain before I left work 15 miles south. But we're not controlling that, and suddenly we have the high humidity. Now we have this rain. The sun hasn't been out drying up the ground, and so now we're having fungal issues, insect pest pressures,
and they're filling up with the water. That's what tomatoes are.
Right, they're water, and a lot of other things may even have some stresses. If you've got some things that are still going, it might be a good time to make sure that they've had a feeding or give them a feeding.
Cucumber vines we have, they're starting to yellow up.
They're yellowing up, but you still have some fruit on them, and may even have some blossom. On those, I would probably add a fertilizer that is written out that says tomato and vegetable, turning the bag around to make sure it has calcium in it. Make sure it has the minor,
But calcium, so I can just go pour milk on it?
No, but you could break up some Tums and melt you some Tums in it, and that helps. But if you get the fertilizers that actually have that, they have more than just the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the three numbers that we read on the front of the bag. They have the micronutrients. And your liquid fertilizers, I won't mention names, that you mix up, the blue stuff you mix up in the water, or there are some that are for...
Well, we got like a little Kool-Aid packet.
Yeah, those don't have a whole lot of micronutrients. I would be more apt to go and get you a small package of one that's for tomatoes and vegetables, and that one of them that comes to mind comes in one that looks like a little tomato.
Right. Well, these scoring lines on the tomato that the listeners...
And the fruit's still good.
It still doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt the fruit. No, it doesn't hurt the fruit.
It's not pretty.
It's not right. It wouldn't have necessarily been marketable. But guess what? On the kitchen table, on slice on your sandwich or your burger, no big deal.
Aunt B ain't winning any ribbons at the county fair.
We're not shooting for that right now. So it is just a matter of the. It's now uneven watering, where we were very even in the spring when it was dry because we had to water. Now everything's turned off and we're counting on the rain, and some days it's like, okay, I might have watered on Monday, but it didn't rain at Mountain House, but it rained on Tuesday, and it rained a lot. It didn't rain anything Wednesday or Thursday. I got a drizzle on Friday. So we're having a hard time at this time of year to do an even watering, and so that's when we usually, there's things like the peas, the eggplants, your peppers are going to continue through the summer.
We got bell peppers, by the way. We got bell peppers.
Keep growing right now, but a lot of your other things, your melons should be getting ripe because they should have been put in the ground.
I see the guy he's got it for $4 a piece or 2 for $7 on the side of the road.
There you go. Yeah, I got to get me a watermelon.
I do. And I've
had one. I've eaten one so far.
And everybody says, "Oh, the seedless." There's an art to seed spitting.
Yeah.
I mean,
and really, I mean, I'm at a toss-up. I'm going to have to do like a taste test because some people say, well, with the seeds, they taste better than the seedless.
I don't know.
I don't know. See, I have a hard time. I can't eat the yellow watermelons.
No.
It's psychological.
It's got to be a good green watermelon. They got to make the right thump noise when I thump them and everything.
When you open that and it's a yellow-fleshed watermelon, it's like, okay, I can close my eyes and I can taste it and I can tell, yes, it's watermelon. But when I look at it, it's going, it's supposed to taste lemony.
Here's the question.
Okay.
Salt or no salt on your watermelon?
Salt. Just a little.
Yeah, me too.
Just
I was amazed on Facebook how much argument there comes. People go, salt? Why would you put salt on watermelon? There's 2 things that are good on watermelon. Salt, or take a drill bit, bore it out, and pour rum.
Vodka, rum, tequila. Take your pick. Yeah.
Those are we used to throw a watermelon festival at my house on Cowpen Lake every year, and we would take 10 to 12 watermelons, 2 3-pound watermelons, put a fifth of booze in each one. Oh, it was a good time.
Well, and I've even seen it now. I mean, this is for adults only. I know what the children are out of school, but get the bigger watermelon and fill it up from like the top, so make a little slice, so a little thin, and then put your little spout on the bottom.
Oh, you can drink
and
it?
then
Yes,
you
sir.
just pour
Yes,
it
ma'am. You can
right
do
out of
that.
the bottom of it. So.
Oh, yeah. I was very, very, very accomplished in that.
Ways to use your garden produce. But,
let me ask you, because you made a good point, and I think sometimes it gets glossed over. Yesterday, I'll give a prime example. Yesterday, where my house is located north of town.
Right.
A deluge for about 45 minutes, to where there's still to this morning there's water in the runoffs, there's water in the ditches and everything. My fiance, who owns Just Shipped, she was delivering, because she delivers for pharmacies around the area. She was delivering in the villages in Bellevue, and I asked her, because I worry about.
So be careful, it's raining hard. Right.
I go, get it in your range? She goes, not a drop.
No.
Not, and people say, well, it's Bellevue and villages. From where we live to Bellevue is 17 miles.
It's 15 from my house, almost in a straight line.
It's not far.
And it had rained at my house, and I want to say it was measurable. I need to clean out. I have one of those really tall.
I got 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, I was going to say I probably got half to 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at work, we had some. By the time I left at 6, we had a minute or two of very large raindrops. And then a little bit like a mist that would blow through here and there, and just
That's what
enough
she
to
said.
keep the humidity up.
She said, I said, you got any rain? She goes, no, just sprinkles. Enough to keep it a sauna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. So yeah, this time of year.
Are these sauna conditions good, bad, or indifferent for your grass,
if you
your
do
plants?
it, vegetables, it's not real happy. Because they're not drying out, and even our lawns. Because I think I've said the formula before, and it's your temperature plus your humidity. You add them together. The temperature, say 75 degrees, and 75% humidity equals 150. That 150 is the optimum point in which fungal growth occurs.
Right.
And so you can have higher temperatures with a little lower humidity.
But if it
and
equals
still
150.
if it's equaling around 150, you're got,
Like yesterday, it was 93 degrees with 65% humidity. That's right at 150.
right at around 150. So, you're going to start to see some fungal issues in the lawn, in the landscape. Roses, are going to be a big one. Some of this we can take care of just cosmetically by cleaning up, but... we'll be talking on that.
I'm gonna ask you a question about lawns in a few minutes, but let's go to the phone line. Jerome and Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, you.
Say, a week and a half now, we haven't had any substantial rain at all over here on the northeast side of Ocala, very close to Silver Springs. I don't think I had even a tenth of an inch in the last week and a half,
Okay.
but I know it's raining all around. So it looks so dark to the north and to the south and everywhere else. So we're just in that little spot where we're pretty dry here again,
Okay.
Okay, now the reason I called is I had a very interesting situation that I never ran across. I walked the dog last year, and there's what they call it. I was told it's called a sentry plant.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a very large plant. In the center, it's shot up a shoot.
A flower stalk.
And the shoot. Is that what they call it?
It
All I
is
know
a flower
it's 30.
stalk. Yeah, it's about 30 feet plus in the air.
It's 30 feet in the air.
Yep.
Right. And the trouble with it is it went straight up in the beginning. Now it's leaning. I can only describe the lean like, let's say like at 6 o'clock on the clock, it's, straight up and down. And let's say it's 10 to 4, it's leaning that much, and it's gonna fall down. It's gonna fall on the road, not on the house. It's just a
Right.
couple blocks away, and I'm waiting for it to fall. The question is, it's hard to, the person that lives there evidently went north for the summer or whatever, and if that falls in the road, I don't have a power saw anymore. I gave up when I moved. I didn't think I have to use it anymore. Can a regular saw cut that, or is it solid?
It's going to probably be more. You know what? I've never actually. That's actually a good question. I'm not real sure what that. But it is a flower stalk, and yes, they do. They shoot 30 feet in the air. Really pretty interesting. They do have a tendency to start leaning because they get so high. I would think that maybe a hatchet, a machete, or something like that, because it is simply a flower stalk. It's not a limb.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
now is there going to be a blossom? Because way up on the top is kind of branched.
Yes, it's gonna. Yeah, those are all gonna open up, and they will be blooms on there. Really pretty interesting plant. And over time, probably by the time the folks come back, if they've gone north for the summer, that main parent plant is gonna die. But underneath there's little baby plants. There's little pups under there, and those will take over. And there's a chance that next year that plant will bloom again, or in just a couple of years, because they really don't take 100 years to bloom. They can take 5 to 10 years, but when a plant reaches its maturity, that's when it does its bloom.
Well, no, let's say the plant grows straight up and it stays straight. How long does it last in that position?
Oh shoot, several weeks. Several weeks. I'd probably say probably about a good month at least. That'll be up there. Be kind of fun to take you some pictures of it and see how the flowers open. Hummingbirds love them. They're really a neat plant.
It's very unusual. I've never seen anything like that, and I really think that's going to fall over before it blossoms, because it's at such a level now, and it seems to every day another 6, maybe 12 inches. It leans a little bit more. It's just a matter of time that it's going to come down, and I hope it don't come down on a car when they're walking. Now I don't know how heavy that is, but I'm kind of on guard a little bit to keep an eye on it. So if it does drop, I'm going to. Hopefully I can be able to pick it and move it off the road or chop. I got an axe I can maybe chop it up a little bit, but if the thing was normal and straight up, does that just last forever then?
No, it'll eventually, because again,
Thanks for the call, Hugh.
Yeah, the parent plant's going to die off. So, that spike, but it does. They come up and they are blooming now, or they're getting ready to.
What's the name of that plant?
It's actually an agave, but they go by century plant. And there's a lot of different varieties. Actually, if you've ever seen an aloe plant bloom, it's just looks like a little tiny version of the agave, of the century plant. And there are several different ones, and they do become very popular, especially when they begin to bloom. But it shoots that flower
30 feet?
About 30 feet up, yes.
And then Hugh says this is leaning.
Then what's beginning to list over that it's getting, it's gotten high. Might have had a little influence maybe from some wind during one of the rainstorms.
Because it is just a plant stalk.
It's just a flower stalk. It's not a tree trunk. It's not that you can go over there and I guess you could wrap a strap around it and maybe stake that up if concerned. Yeah.
I've never seen one of those trees in my life.
If there was concern that it might fall onto a road or on something like that, maybe get over, put the rope through the garden hose kind of thing and wrap it around and pull it over to pull it back to where it's a little more straight to help prevent falling over of it. I know there's some people that go ahead and cut them off, but it's like, why would you cut off the flowers?
Is that
because it's still the parent plant's still gonna.
That's not native to us, is it?
No.
Wow, I wonder how I got on Hughes Street down there.
Well, he's in a little subdivision.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so it's been planted. The neighborhood, somebody planted it, and they become very popular at this time of year. There's some really interesting ones. There was one near, and like I said, sometimes they'll bloom. You'll see it, the one will bloom, and that big plant you'll come by say in a month, and that spike is gone. The plant in a couple months will begin to deteriorate, but a few months later you go, wait a minute,
Where'd it
I
go?
thought that plant disappeared. but there's more plant there. Because the pups are still there, and
Right.
they were actually getting quite large under there. They're now feeding off of that parent plant, so they're growing. And I want to say that it does not really take as long to get a bloom off the next time, because now that root system, that whole thing is mature. So you may actually be getting bloom. I don't know if it would be like, say, next year or in a couple of years, but they don't. Once it's a mature enough plant, they begin to bloom.
Right. Well, I'd never seen. I don't think I've ever seen that plant before. So
And they're throughout. They are throughout Marion County. People have them in a lot of areas. I've got a couple of neighbors I think that have them. I'll have to see if the one neighbor,
30
because
feet
they've got
tall.
a beautiful one. One of the ones with the
how long does it take to get 30 foot tall? Is it something that happens?
rather quickly.
Really?
It's one of those things you could probably, like the big giant sunflowers, you could probably measure it on a
Time
daily
lapse
basis.
it, yeah.
Time lapse it.
Wow. Yeah, those giant sunflowers. There's a field out that it's in the Oxford area.
Okay.
That a guy grows the
Yes.
giant sunflowers, and when that field is in full bloom,
Oh yeah.
it's amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
We'll talk with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's taking your phone calls, 622-9622, area code 352-622-9622. You know, I got a problem, and I'm sure it's not just me having it. Everybody's had this problem. It's been raining for the last week,
Yep.
but it's been hot.
Yep.
It's been humid.
Hot and humid. Overcast.
The sun's been peeking through, but people don't realize even when it's overcast, the UV rays still come
Still
through.
come through. Yes, you can still get sunburned.
So the trees are still doing it. The trees, grass, everything. Photosynthesis is still going on.
Everything's still
Good
occurring. I mean,
on.
it's nice and green out here across the airport now, where a month ago that was getting crunchy.
My grass is high.
Yeah.
It was cut last Monday,
Yeah.
but it's high.
Yeah.
It's my miniature dachshund doesn't even go out in the
Because his
backyard
belly's
because
getting-
it scrubs
yeah.
his belly. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's high, but it's wet and there's water standing, and so my lawnmower guy said, you know,
We tried. Yeah, it's usually best if you
is it
try.
bad for your grass right now?
What
Because it's
happens
growing
is
high, but it's wet.
It sticks up in the mower, and it shoots out clumps, especially if it's getting too high, which then have to be cleaned up. You don't want the clumps
Right.
sitting there.
No.
But it's like if you didn't get rain, it's like try to fit a mowing in.
But right now, if it's hot,
between.
right now as high as it is, cutting just the top
You're
third of
gonna-
an inch
yeah,
off is not good enough.
No, you're gonna need to go through actually like mow it twice.
Is that going to hurt the grass?
Not if you were to take and mow it way down, back down where it's supposed to be, that would actually cause more damage than mowing it. If you can wait the day, or even later in the day, and mow it again from, like, say, the opposite direction.
I don't think my lawn guy's coming
No,
back.
he's
to mow
not
the
going to
same
come back.
time.
I don't know how big your yard is. You may need to.
It's
invest in
3/4
a
of an
mower.
acre.
You might need to invest in a mower.
Oh, I got a John Deere tractor in the shed.
There you go. Just fire that baby up.
I know the tires are flat, battery's dead. But it does have a grass catcher, which would eliminate all the
Which would
clumps.
which would eliminate the clumps, and that's about the only time that the grass catcher is really recommended. It is one of those things at this time of year. That's another reason why we don't hit the nitrogen fertilizers now, is because the
'Cause we
rain's
don't need
got
it.
it. Well, every time you mow, you're fertilizing the lawn, so we don't need to be putting fertilizers down. But it can begin to start to look a little peaked at this time of year, or this month, July.
My brown spot is gone.
What?
It's on that 18 days. It's moving slow for me, Carolyn, because the end of July, I'm moving slow for me. We'll be back after this time out with Carolyn, Master Gardener Carolyn Baldwin on In the Garden on WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast Agnet. I'm Darren Spearman reporting. The U.S. and the European Union have reached a deal to end the damage and dispute over subsidies for rival